the convicted felon in chief, the crybaby in chief, the victim in chief, Donald Trump went to the DOJ yesterday to hold a news conference about fentanyl. However, as you might all guess, all he could do was cry and whine about how everybody is so mean to him. And he said that he, Donald Trump, is now the chief law enforcement officer of the United States, which we know that is historically, since the history of the United States, been the Attorney General's office, and that there should be complete independence from the Department of Justice, not in Donald Trump's agenda. We already knew that he intended to be a heavy hand on the Justice Department and the FBI when he appointed two complete incompetents in Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. But he is going after everyone, and he is turning our country, which is a republic democracy, what he wants is a tyrannical autocracy. He said yesterday that he is a victim as usual. He is a 78-year-old billionaire who has broken the law from the jump, who doesn't pay contractors. And he is comparing himself, just like on the campaign trail, to Alphonse Capone. Give me a fucking break.
Wasn't pleasant. I was attacked by a political opponent, and probably it helped that I was attacked more than anybody in the history of our country. Alphonse Capone, the great Alphonse Capone, legendary Scarface, was attacked only a tiny fraction of what Trump was attacked.
This is insufferable. All he does is cry about poor him. Well, I have a tip. If you wouldn't commit crimes, if you wouldn't be so corrupt, if you wouldn't choose to break the law and commit fraud, you probably would not have been prosecuted for those things, both criminally and civilly. This is a man that has nothing on his mind but him. This is what he had to say about news stations that do not provide him with favorable coverage.
You just can't let it happen. You have such a higher calling. And I believe that CNN and MSDNC, who literally write 97.6% bad about me, are political arms of the Democrat Party. And in my opinion, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. What they do is illegal.
Okay, first of all, make it illegal to report the facts. Make it illegal to report the truth. Make it illegal to say anything negative about the president of the United States. That is fascism. That is tyranny. That is autocracy. And that is what he wants, because he wants all the power. Can you imagine how dumb the entire population would be if all they could watch for news was Newsmax and Fox News? Their population that watches them all the time, their IQ is already so far down. But he wants everybody to watch propaganda news, just like Vladimir Putin has in Russia, so that people will not speak out against him and know what he's doing is illegal, because he hates accountability. He loves corruption. Here's what he had to say about newspapers that don't write favorably about him.
And these newspapers are really no different than a highly paid political operative. And it has to stop. It has to be illegal. It's influencing judges, and it's really changing law, and it just cannot be legal. I don't believe it's legal. And they do it in total coordination with each other, and everything we do, we're restoring law, restoring order, and restoring public safety in America. That's what we want to do.
It is so rich that someone whose administration has fired air traffic controllers and planes are crashing, someone who is a convicted felon, someone that had the Biden administration and Merrick Garland had any balls would be in jail right now, someone who released January 6th terrorists that tried to overthrow the government, that he would have the nerve and the absolute audacity to say he is returning the country to law and order. He is the biggest criminal in this country. It is gross. It is hypocrisy on steroids. He compared the January 6th hostages to Alexei Navalny. yesterday. That is how fucking crazy this man is and how serious he is about turning the United States of America into Russia. He called his detractors scum, deranged, corrupt. He wants to undermine the judiciary at every turn because he goes after judges. He goes after judges' families. He goes after lawyers. He goes after law firms. Just this week, the court had to say, no, you cannot bar from federal agencies, including federal court, lawyers who represented Hillary Clinton. Like, this man has no concept of anything but petty retribution, because all he does is sit around and talk about himself and what he wants, not what's good for the country. I mean, it's not enough that he's tanking the economy, that Elon Musk is going through and getting rid of federal workers and policies, and people are dying in plane crashes and losing medical care and have devices in their bodies that are no longer being monitored. That's not enough. We have to now go and prosecute lawyers, judges, newspapers, news outlets. It is a disgrace to America. But one final thing that I wanted to bring, because as bad as the last week has been with the Democrats capitulating to Donald Trump and his fascist agenda, we had the forever funny and trolling capital of the world, Canada, come out with a troll with little Marco Rubio, because as we know, Trump likes to call little Marco Rubio. But Canada also, in welcoming Marco Rubio to the G7, rolled out a little Marco carpet for him. I mean, I just thought this was great. They brought out this little bitty, embarrassing carpet for little Marco to walk out on. Kudos to Canada. Stick with us.